Now let's send it over to Allie LaForce, who was able to talk with Joe Mazzulla.
Facing off with Paul George tonight, I asked them what makes PG such a special player. Coach said, quote, well, he has a huge effect on the game. Paul can shut down your best scorer on one end and then put up 30 or 40 on the other. Tough to beat that. Paul George, he will have a lot to say about this one, guys.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you, Allie. Boston pulls it in.
Defense pulled out all the stops and shut him down there.
One thing you can say about Boston, Grant, they know how to pull a team together.
Yeah, the Celtics' consistency of winning is just impressive, both now and throughout their entire history. They are really the gold standard in this league, and it's mostly because of great draft picks and great trades.
For Celtics Entertainment.
First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in. Pass to Maxey. A shot to stop the run. And that's 2 points on the layup.
Nice work on the interior. Maxey looked so composed amongst those trees.
Defensively, you can't afford to let him get to the rim that easily.
Well, that might be why their deficit is what it is right now.
Yeah, it's going to take better protection than that if they're going to climb out of this hole.
Boston foul.
With the regular season wrapping up now, should the top team start getting ready for the postseason?
Not just yet, because that could cause a letdown heading into the playoffs, which is the last thing these teams would want to have happen.
So it's both teams making substitutions here. Well, Richard, with the career he's had, it's hard to believe Drew Holiday has eliminated 2 All-Star teams.
Well, that speaks to how much talent is at the guard position in this league. But it also shows how we tend to award offense over defense because Drew, his impact is truly felt on the defensive end.
Outside Butler. Out to the wing. Clock at 6. Inside. And it's going to be a 3-second call.
3-second violation. Boston ball.
Celtics lead by 7.
Edwards.
Here's Pritchard. 9 points in his last outing. Garnett. And down it goes. Dunked it through off a beautiful setup.
And breaking out the one-hand slam.
Man, an emphatic way to extend the lead a little more. And the jam by Drummond.
Oh, nothing soft about that.
Was not going to be denied. Just took the dunk that was right in front of him.
And that's his MLB physical. Get in position for the putback and throw it down. The defense got to know that's what he's looking to do.
And it's Butler off the drive. Horford with the block.
Still a tremendous player. Horford using that experience.
Really taking charge of the game, largely with a detailed interior attack.
Yeah, they haven't appeared in a rush at all. They are just playing to their strengths and building this lead out well.
Here's Holiday. And that one's good. Holiday's got 8.
Their defense just falls apart once the ball goes inside.
Pass to Drummond. 3 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Launches a 3. Philadelphia with another miss.
Great job of closing the space and getting a hand up.
Yeah, that's a good defender making a play, and he does it without
Personal foul.
And even from where we're sitting, you could clearly tell it was a foul.
At the line for your
Boston
Celtics.
shooting their first shots of the night from the charity stripe. Good on the second one. And so it's Boston up 14 as we wrap up the quarter. Great team defense on Paul George.
20. The 76ers. 6.
We welcome you back to second quarter action. Plenty of basketball left to play. This one has been one-sided so far. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the Celtics.
Well, they're off to a good start getting it inside and scoring at close range. Solid fundamentals so far in this one.
Another thing they're doing well early on is moving the ball, playing selfless basketball, and getting everybody involved on the offensive end.
Just 5 to shoot. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
They're really dictating the tempo on both ends of the court. You love it.
And guys, to go on a big run, get some breathing space, it has to be a great play on each end.
Here's Oubre. And it's flushed
Jr.
down. A nice jam.
And when you look at the numbers over the last few years, it's clear that George has made a jump as a playmaker.
From Drew Holiday.
And just not letting up at all. I mean, you have to love this approach. You want to get the ball to the guys who make plays.
This is when good players really get after it. He can sense that they're reeling, and he's going to put his foot on the pedal.
And a foul call on the way up. So he'll take 2 from the free throw line.
First personal foul.
And Joel Embiid with a number of different co-stars in his time in Philly, Richard.
Yes, Ben Simmons,
Along for the 76ers.
Jimmy Butler, James Harden, they've all come and gone, but in Tyrese Maxey, Embiid might have found the tag team partner for the long haul.
Here's Craig. And he floats it in for the easy 2. Credit the sweet setup on that one.
They're finding ways to get the ball into the paint. 5 consecutive buckets.
And let's send it over to Allie LaForce.
Hey, Brian, a key concept preached by Celtics head coach Joe Mazzulla and reiterated by Jaylen Brown, who says it's reading the game, realizing fast but playing slow. We're the more talented team, he said. We have to be the smarter team as well, and when we do that, we're going to be tough to beat. Brian?
Well, they
Joel
certainly have been,
Embiid.
Allie. Thanks for that.
Assist goes to
It's good.
Paul George.
Right there, you see how fluid Embiid is. Great body control. I just love the way he plays.
He drops yet another dive, just facilitating this offense like a maestro.
And Philadelphia calls time here.
We know you all
Greg, you
love
often
it.
hear about how smooth Paul George's game is.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. Young players can learn a lot by watching his football. His timing, his ability to find the space he needs, it's just tremendous.
Maxey with it. And it falls. 2 for 3 from the field so far.
Obviously, this guy has a talent for scoring, able to problem solve for whatever the defense tosses at him.
Pass to Porzingis. Shot on the wing. And he sinks out, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. Tatum's got his second basket of the night.
Certainly not the best look, but I admire the confidence to let it fly.
Now Oubre. And here's Embiid. A guy this team turns to often, averaging almost 24 a game. Back to Maxey. And they turn it over. Shot clock violation as the buzzer sounds.
Substitution on the court.
Quarter number 2 and around 3 minutes gone by.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 2 minutes.
Pass to Brown. Three-pointer. Hits a three-pointer. Brown's got 5 points.
A dangerous shooter from all areas. Brown's eyes get real big when he shoots these corner threes.
Here's Embiid. And so it looks like it'll be Philadelphia ball. And Philadelphia making a change here.
Coming onto the floor for the 76ers.
Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played. Pass to Butler. 6 to shoot. Gabaselli. Off target from outside. And it's Tatum with the ball for Boston. A 21-point lead, the biggest of the game. Stolen by Drummond. We've got 1:08 left to play in the second quarter. Who poked away. Boston leading by 21. There's Tatum with the three. Rebound by the 76ers. Trying to find a spark here.
Yes, indeed. A rough stretch offensively. They could really use a basket. And the slam was so good. But the dribble move he made to get there was a thing of beauty.
Absolutely. What a slick play.
And trust me, when the D's slow to react, he'll be the first guy to make them pay.
Yeah, they got to do a much better job of putting a little bit of pressure on him on his way to the hoop.
We know how great Joel Embiid is, but he simply hasn't been as effective all postseason.
Part of that is because of all the defensive attention he gets. We know things tighten up in the postseason, and things become much more challenging. That's why he needs a better supporting cast.
And the basket by Holiday.
Drew is so crafty when he gets to the rim.
Here's Butler. And it's Butler with the jam.
Edwards.
And he's playing the game with a certain flair right now.
Oh, he caps off the move with a little hang time on the rim. Now Holiday. That one doesn't drop. Pass to Butler. And so it's the Boston Celtics ending the quarter with a 20-point edge.
Celtics 38. The 76ers 18.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next two quarters are any different from the first two. So far, it's been a runaway. Boston leading by 20. Tatum slams it home.
Terrific lob, and Tatum takes care of the rest. This is how it's done. Those passes dunk themselves.
Here's Grimes. And it's rejected.
And you have to think that they're leading this game because of how they've controlled it tonight. They have no answer defensively inside.
Here's Maxey. Pass to George. Embiid with it. Over Porzingis. Embiid misses.
That's a decent look for him. He just couldn't convert.
From the high post. Paul George pulls it in. You know, Grant, in interviews, Jason Tatum often seems understated and soft-spoken. But that's just him, isn't it?
That's true, B.A. Tatum has a quiet confidence about him. He doesn't feel the need to be loud or act out. He lets his work on the court do all the talking for him.
White looking it over. Back to Craig. Outside White. Clock at 4. And he was fouled while in the act of shooting, so he'll take 2 free throws.
Jr.
Kelly Oubre picks one up.
Man, he made sure to get his money's worth on that foul.
Boston shooting their third and fourth free throw shots of the night. And you look at Derek White, Richard, the energy he plays with, it is remarkable.
That's his greatest attribute, his activity on both ends of the floor. Having a high motor is a skill. He keeps coming and tries to wear you down.
Oubre on the wing. And a miss there on the triple.
Since halftime, they've missed 3 of their first 4 shots. Still trying to get their legs under them.
Outside Tatum. Hey, now 5 for 8. Showing a pretty good percentage right now.
A nice start to the third. 3 out of 4 and looking good doing it.
Oubre can't hit.
You have to credit their effort. I mean, they've done an amazing job on the glass.
Pass to Pritchard. Outside Tatum. With the putback. Outside Porzingis. Misses the 3.
And I'm surprised that didn't go down. I mean, I'm sure he is too.
All right, let's get a report from Allie.
Paul George spent some time talking about his idol. He said, the person who motivated me as a kid was Kobe Bryant. Growing up in Southern California, watching him
Shooting
every
for
day,
Philadelphia.
I wanted to emulate him. I attacked the game the same way he did, trying to work on every deficiency, play both ends, and be a competitor.
His impact lives on, Allie.
You're not going to find many better two-way players than George. He gets accurate at both ends every night. They just look so overwhelmed inside. Yeah, that's why they continue to get attacked.
Remaining in the third.
Here's McCain.
2 minutes.
From downtown.
The rebounding numbers make it obvious why they're in front.
They're limiting the offensive possessions for the other team. Tough to win with no extra possessions.
Oh, nice shot by Brown. And this is a star-driven league, but talk about the importance of role players, Grant.
Oh, B.A., a lot of times they're the ones who carry the day. You know what you'll get from your stars, but when the X factor ignites, that can make the difference.
Sixers foul.
And for some reason, he decided to foul there.
Personal
Yeah,
foul.
B.A., that's an odd move.
Second
Maybe
team
there's
foul.
something else behind it.
Substitution.
So
on
both
the
teams
court.
changing it up here.
I thought he had that all sewn up, but somehow the defense just threw him off.
Ooh, rejected by Horford. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Horford. There's a minute 12 left in the third. Five to shoot. From behind the arc. The Sixers with another miss. And here are the Celtics. They're on a 12-4 run.
Unforced turnovers. They'll
Substitution.
drive your coach
Andre
insane.
Drummond.
And Philadelphia making a change here. To the left side wing. Pass to Butler. Baseline try. Horford with the block.
The great positioning, the 7-1 wingspan. That combination makes Horford a dangerous shot blocker.
He can really stroke it from deep. You have to keep better tabs on him.
Here's McCain. Here's Yabusele. Still without a bucket. And here's Edwards outside. Here's Drummond. Oh, and he blocks it off the glass. Wow. Now here's Holiday. On the take. Banked it in off the glass.
Holiday.
Holiday's got 16 points.
He's been a piece of the puzzle tonight, but it's a team effort. Everyone's contributing to this
Coming
league.
onto the floor for the
Those are the
76ers.
turnovers that have coaches
Quentin
pulling
Brown.
their hair out. Why do you think I'm bald?
It's good! It's good at the buzzer! Wow!
The Celtics.
Makes his select.
And 3/4 of play in the books. This one's all but over already. Boston out in front.
22.
Just dominating this one. And time to step away quickly, but we'll be back in no time with the start of the fourth quarter. And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same for the first 3 quarters. Pass to Bona. Now Drummond. And here's Edwards. And here's Lowry from the arc. Not going to go that time.
And they're up considerably because of their efforts on the glass.
Jacks up a 3. And Drew Holiday hits from deep. Holiday's got 19 points.
Part of what makes Drew so valuable, he's a guard who can score without the ball.
Andre Drummond.
And Drummond with the jam.
He gives up a bit of size at the center position, but his leaping ability, well, let's just say that makes up for it.
Gordon with a steal. Oh, and he got fouled on his way up. He'll head to the line to shoot 2.
Holiday. First personal
There's
foul.
no debate there. He got
First
hammered.
team foul.
Let's get a quick check of the
Along
scoring
for the
breakdown here
76ers.
for Boston.
Eric Gordon.
You've got to be impressed
2
with how
shots.
assertive they are on offense, continuing to cut hard to the rim time and time again.
Well, something else that stands out is how they've shared the ball. They're getting a lot of their points from sharp passing.
That one falls, coming off a Drummond feed.
He finds a shooter in motion and is confident he can threat him with the lead pass. Well done.
Here's Holiday. And he got the whistle on the way up. So he'll be headed to the line from there.
First personal
That one
foul.
on Gordon.
First team
You know,
foul.
Grant, we've seen career performances in the play-in tournament, but the stats don't count for regular season or the playoffs.
You know, that's crazy, BA. So let's just count them as playoff stats. It used to be only 3 rounds instead of 4, so there is a precedent to adding more games to the official postseason.
Andre Drummond.
And that one's good.
Assisted. Bona.
And Tatum's got the ball here for Boston. And he's going to the line for 2. The official saw contact while he was going up.
First personal foul.
He's 6'4"
Second
and
team
well
foul.
built. Drew is bigger and stronger than you think.
Holiday hits them both.
And they've been so much more aggressive drawing the whistle here in the second half.
And Kyle Lowry is going to pick up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
That's
And
his
this kind of
second
selflessness is
personal
great
foul.
to see. Textbook
Second team
positioning
foul.
to draw the charge.
Holiday with the ball. Here's Brown. Tried to bank it in, but it misses. Lowry left side. All sorts of time. The offensive rebound. The shot by Drummond, no good. Right side, Holiday. That shot off the mark. Over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the 4th. The shot by Butler, no good.
The shooter thought he had enough space, but the defender was right on him.
Did a great job closing the gap, making the shooter feel uncomfortable.
That's tipped. Here's Brown. And the jam by Brown.
I'm not going to lie, Jaylen Brown, his hops are different.
2 minutes
Bona
remaining
missing.
in the game. 2 minutes.
And so they foul intentionally.
Edwards.
Hey, Grant, when you look at the mentality of today's players,
personal foul.
what are the differences from back in your day?
Team
Well,
foul.
BA, through the wonders of technology, players
Substitution on the
interacting
court.
more directly with their fans and telling their own stories. Also, there's a brotherhood. It's a bit more brotherly, with players on different teams more friendly than in days past. And, you know, I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Oh, nice shot by Brown. Brown's got 4 points this quarter.
And let's face it, this one was never really in question. They came out with purpose and just overwhelmed the opposition. A great win for the Celtics.
And it was a big-time performance across the board. They looked like they were having fun out there, Grant.
Yeah, BA, it was almost like watching a cat play with a mouse. I mean, they did pretty much anything they wanted to do out there today.
No surprise, another victory for these guys who have been on a tear all year long. They've now won 62 games. And of all the highlights and performances we've seen here tonight, the one thing that stands out is what an unbelievable night it's been for Drew Holiday.
He did a great job following his team's game plan and not rushing anything on offense, which allowed him to catch fire.
Craig on the wing. Fires the 3.
Just terrible defense. I don't know how he missed that shot.
They get it again. Pass to Edwards. Outside Butler. And out of bounds. Boston will have it.
Boston
Hurts
ball.
to see that kind of mistake. Coach is going to be on him about
Substitution
that
on the
one.
court.
Just 1 second separating the shot clock and the game clock. Pritchard gets it to go.
They got a big lift from their crowd tonight, giving them the energy they needed.
You have to love their effort. This game wasn't handed to them. They took it.
For three, Maxey. Out inside.
And guys, that's got to be the dagger. This is how you finish a game.
And it felt like they just flipped the switch to go on that run and seal the game, saving their best basket for the end. Oh, smart.
So we see the Celtics taking the W here. They didn't have too many problems tonight.
They didn't. Just a tremendous team effort. Once they had that big lead, they were not going to let the visitors back into the game.
And that about wraps it up. For Richard Jefferson, Grant Hill, and